Welcome to the studio, our international affairs editor, Kethevane Gorjestani. Kethevane, a lot of reactions there. Clearly, Trump is awake. He's posting. A civilization could die tonight, so says the US president.
Yes, it's really the latest and strongest probably threat that the U.S. president has put out just a few hours before this deadline. He also added to that threat, I don't want it to happen, but it probably will. He also left open the door for a little bit of hope, saying that something wonderful could happen. So he's still holding out hope, maybe, for a possibility of a deal. That's also the message that was coming from JD Vance, the vice president who is currently in Hungary. He was asked about the prospects of that possible deal. He said that there were going to be still a lot of negotiations happening in the coming hours, all the way to that deadline. He also added, we have tools in our toolkit that so far we have not decided to use on Iran. What that means, we don't know. Is it military tools, negotiating tools? That's up for questioning still. There was a response probably to this post by the Iranians. Reuters, the news agency, speaking to a senior Iranian source, that didn't seem to leave out much hope for a deal. Here are some of the key elements from that conversation that Reuters had with an Iranian official. One, that Pakistan, which is one of the mediators between the Iranians and the Americans, continues to convey messages from the United States to Iran, but the Iranians are saying the U.S. has not changed its tone. The other thing is they're saying we will show flexibility in the negotiations when we see flexibility coming from the United States, implying there that the Americans are not making any concessions and only want concessions from the Iranians. There was the repeat of something that the Iranians have said multiple times, both off the record and on the record, that they will not reopen the Strait of Hormuz for a temporary ceasefire, and for this time, the quote is, for empty promises from the Americans. But we were talking about escalating rhetoric and those threats by Donald Trump about power plant day, bridge day, targeting that civilian infrastructure. The Iranians are also threatening their own retaliation, saying that if there are U.S. strikes on power plants in Iran, the entire region and Saudi Arabia will fall into complete darkness, meaning that they are willing to also go after some of these energy facilities, possibly even water desalination plants, things like that. And the final threat coming from the Iranians, which is one to take really very seriously, is that if the situation gets out of control, Iran's allies will also close Bab el-Mandeb. We talked about that just about a week or so ago when the Houthis in Yemen decided to send missiles towards Israel and, in a way, get into this war where they had so far been pretty quiet and not getting involved. And they threatened to continue and possibly close down Bab el-Mandeb, which is the strait that leads to the Red Sea, that leads to the Suez Canal, a key road for world shipping and world economy. And the fact that this threat is coming back from the Iranians is also very serious, because the Strait of Hormuz closed. If Bab el-Mandeb is closed too, that could even further disrupt the world shipping lanes and therefore the world economy.